People with bipolar disorder are actually more likely to suffer from heart diseases. Because when you start overloading yourself thinking you can do 15,000 things in one day, kilo day, are you Superman? The father figures in our lives can have a very bad habit of neglecting their mental health, which can also then lead to them neglecting their physical health. Because hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Kanyinsola. Hope you're all doing very well on this beautiful sunny day that we cannot even go out on. It's so painful, but I hope you're all doing very well nonetheless. If you're new here, please subscribe and thank you for finding me however way you found me. If you are coming back, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate you. I'm thinking about doing a giveaway when I hit 200 subscribers. Actually, I shouldn't think about it. I should just do it, innit? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a giveaway. When I hit 200 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway. So you guys to get sharing, get talking about, you know, the channel, what we discuss over here. Because hitting 200 is not, it's not a small feat. That's bad, you know? Not everybody can fit 200 people in their house. So I rate myself. So it's Mental Health Awareness Week here in the UK, and there's been a lot of discussion about mental health and how to combat mental health issues. And here on my channel, I've spoken about mental health and how it can be affected through immigration, finances. If you haven't watched that video, go and watch it. It's an old video, but still a goodie, still enlightens us. And today I wanted to talk about how mental health can not only affect your actual mental, but it can also affect your physical, because not a lot of people have actually spoken out about this. I was reading an article the other day by Yvette Dion. I'll link it down below, and the article is entitled "What No One Tells Black Women About Heart Diseases." The article really caught my attention because just last year I went to do an ECG just to check how my heart's doing, like really and truly. Like, we have so many things that stress us out in our day-to-day that we don't even realize that it can actually wear and tear your internal. Plus, a uni mate of mine actually had a silent heart attack. She went to sleep one day, the next day, unfortunately, she didn't wake up. So people were really campaigning to get more young people to actually go and get an ECG, which is like an ECG is like an ultrasound of the heart. To go and get an ECG, because you don't even realize that the daily stresses of life can actually break you down internally, and it's always too late when we find out. And I got my ECG through a charity called Cry. So I'll link them down below. I don't know what the acronym stands for, but I'll link them down below. When everything settles down, maybe go and get your ECG done, because it's just good to have like an awareness of what's going on with your heart. Luckily, mine came back all crystal clear, so thank God for that. Getting it done now when you're young, or even when you're older, is so important, because you don't know if you're saving yourself from a fatality in the future. So definitely go and get an ECG done. And the reason why her article kind of really caught my attention is because she talks about how, especially black women and in the black community, we often are so caught up in the stresses of life, like neighborhood stress, overcrowded houses, financial constraints, that we don't take the time to actually go and check ourselves. Sometimes we aren't even listened to in the medical field. I've noticed that when we talk about mental health nowadays, we focus mostly on just depression and anxiety, which are all valid, but then we end up omitting and not talking too much about things like bipolar disorder or schizophrenia or OCD, all of which require different medical treatments or just different treatments in general. Some people might go down the medical field, some people might go down social prescription, which is just doing things in your day-to-day life that can help you find that balance in life. Last year when I was doing my mental health first aid course, I actually learned that people with bipolar disorder are actually more likely to suffer from heart diseases, because their body goes through two extremes. So you can sometimes be on a high, and then sometimes you can be on a low, and because you're going through those two extremes and there's not really much of a balance, what happens is it starts to wear on your heart. With that being said, I think it's very important to acknowledge that everyone's mental health journey is very different, and what helps one person to gain balance in their life might be different to what helps another person to gain balance in their life. And what does balance really look like when you've got more complex mental health issues? So last year I went to go see a play, and it really helped me contextualize what someone with bipolar disorder or personality disorder might be going through. So I forgot the name of the play, but I'll put it up somewhere so you guys can go and search it. Obviously no one can go and see a play right now, but she basically had us all sit in a circle, and she was like, when she's going through her more when she's going through a more low period, this is what it sounds like. So she played us this really annoying soundtrack, and it was like like really, really annoying. And then as she was doing that, she went around in a circle and she got like what's it called? She got flashcards and she was like, remember this, what does this, what does it say? Like she was literally trying to help us understand how it feels to have bipolar disorder and personality disorder in the same body. Even me, as someone who doesn't suffer from bipolar disorder or personality disorder, I was like, what's going on? I can't focus. What they're going through is a lot more complex. So later on in the video, I will tell you what helps me. So I get low periods where I'm like, I'm down about myself, I'm not feeling the best, and that usually is when I'm about to start my period. Like, it's PMS, so that's premenstrual stress, and that's when I'm like, I ain't feeling it. Right now, my mental health is good because I feel like I'm in a good mood. I've been listening to good music. I've been uplifted. But when I'm going through PMS, I'm just, no, girl. I sometimes have like really great mental health periods, and then other times I might not have the best. And it's like, it's fine. Not everyone's got it together all the time. That's just one thing to acknowledge. Everyone's journey is different, like I said. My mom has always been a person that she's always been aware of, you know, good health care and aromatherapy. She's always been like that. But I think now it's just more ramped up because obviously she's getting older. So one of my goals for 2020 was to really, really help my mom live a healthier lifestyle. I'm noticing more that a lot of our parents, because of things like financial stress, because of things like neighborhood stress, because of responsibilities, they sometimes can neglect themselves and self, and even us as young people, we can sometimes neglect ourselves. The father figures in our lives can have a very bad habit of neglecting their mental health, which can also then lead to them neglecting their physical health, because you have to beg them to go to the GP, you have to beg them to eat well, you have to beg them to just look after themselves. And a lot of them might say, oh, you people are just snowflakes, yeah, people use all this mental health discussion, but not realizing they're neglecting their own selves. So it's like, it's important to help our parents and our predecessors look after themselves as much as we look after ourselves, because it can all play a role. Like, there's some people who actually suffer from diarrhea because of their mental health, and they don't realize, they think they've eaten something bad, but because you're so stressed and you're so anxious, you end up having constant diarrhea. I've heard that happen to people. Some people, because of the stresses they're going through, whether it's anxiety, depression, they might have constant headaches. And they don't realize that it's because of the mental, that your body is trying to speak to you. Your body is trying to talk to you in different ways. And I think our bodies are amazing things that even if you don't want to open your mouth and say, I'm going through this stress, your body will let you know that you are going through the stress. You need to, let's address the problem here. We want to see our family members live longer. We need to be able to help them as well. We can't just be about self. We need to also direct them in different ways. With me and my mom discussing healthier lifestyle options, what that now means is like she's on the phone to her friends and she's, you know, discussing the new things she's trying out. And that trickles down. We're speaking about our health more, which helps our community. Like, I love it. I love overhearing her saying, oh, you know, I'm taking this now and I'm doing this now. It's fantastic. Why not? Everybody should be knowing about these things. Like, it makes sense, no? Like I said, everyone's journey to a great mental health is very different. For me, it's being able to sleep properly. Because when I'm stressed at work, when work is stressing me out, I don't sleep properly. That's when I know my mental health is not right, because I'm anxious about something that's coming up. When I'm sleeping properly, I know my mental health is we real good. And sleep is like a wash cycle. Some people, oversleeping, don't do it. Having enough hours of sleep at night, and then also maybe if you need to have a recharge during the day, that's absolutely fine. But sleep is like a wash cycle. It's like you go to sleep and it's like your body having a wash. You feel anew. Sometimes if I'm really stressed, I cry onto God and I share my sorrows and I go to sleep. And I wake up and I'm like, okay, how are we going to navigate this issue? How are we going to find the solutions? So sleep can be really, really good for my mental. Listening to uplifting music really, really helps me. When I listen to like music that makes me dance, that gets me in the mood, when I listen to praise, it just puts me in such an uplifting, great energy. I just feel like, yes. Having candid and vulnerable conversations with loved ones, that people you can really trust, is so helpful. It's like a problem shared is a problem halved. When you've now talked about your issues, it feels like, woosa, like, okay, I can let it go now. Because when you harbor things in just by yourself, you feel like you have to find the solutions, you have to deal with the thing. But when you tell someone else, they might be able to help you with the solution. They might be able to share resources that they know that might get you to the end of the solution. You know what I mean? Even if it's not even finding a solution, maybe you just want to talk for talking's sake, it's really great to just let it out. Just literally let it pour out. And then maybe the next day, because you've had that conversation or someone's listened to you, you feel a bit more like confident about your next steps. Sometimes it's just having someone that listens to you as a sounding board more than anything. It's just great. For me, another thing that's really helped me is realizing that failure isn't definitive of my future or where I'm going or who I am. So sometimes in a day you might make a mistake or take an L and you think, this is the worst thing ever, oh my god, and you get really down about it and lose foresight that this is not my whole life now. Like, I failed in this, this situation, but I am not my failure. Nowadays, anytime I make a mistake, I'm just like, like, I live and I learn. You can't come and stress yourself. You have to learn from whatever L you've taken and keep going forward. You can't just talk down to yourself and, hurt yourself over something that you can actually, you might just be able to recover from, Sometimes removing yourself from certain situations or people that weigh you down can be really, really refreshing. It can help you kind of get new perspective and also put your energy in you more than the situation and the negativity that you're surrounded by. I would really advise that if you are in a situation or in a friendship or a relationship or just any kind of ship that is really weighing heavy on you, you can try and discuss it with the person, but if you see that it's still going to continue to be a problem, you're allowed to just say, I respect the situation for what it's been. I don't want to be here anymore. One of the things I pride myself on is being able to walk away or say no to anything that just makes me feel like, I'm not too sure, this is not really, it's a bit fugazi. That's one of the things I really love about myself. I can walk away from situations that I just think, this is BS. I'm not with it anymore. So being able to do that for yourself is crucial. I know a lot of people say things like eating well, exercising, which is very true. There's certain foods that just lift your moods and make you feel better. Exercising makes me feel really, really, really accomplished. So if I manage, even if it's just a short one, if it's just a small one, if I manage to do something, I feel like, okay, well done me, I've accomplished something. It's like when you're exercising, because you're so focused on trying to just get through the workout, or just because I personally don't, like, when I'm working out, I'm not like, oh my god, I love this. I'm like, when does this finish? When does this actually finish? That's me. I'm gonna be honest with you. But at the end of it, I feel great because I'm like, I conquered one thing out of my whole day. I'm proud of me. Like, I conquered that one thing. I killed that workout. I'm not overloading my to-do list. Sometimes a lot of us will just be doing to-do list. Because when you start overloading yourself, thinking you can do 15,000 things in one day, kilo day, are you Superman? You can only do so much. And most of the time, when you've accomplished those 3 things really quickly, you feel like, okay, maybe I can do one more thing. So just keep it minimal, keep it prioritized. Don't try and do 50,000 things. Don't try and conquer the whole world in 24 hours. No, even Beyonce has people that helps her do her things, So just keep it prioritized and keep it simple. If you need to seek help and go for counseling or get medical or professional advice, please do that. Don't feel like you need to suffer in silence or hold it all in or just pray to God to help it get better. Even God would advise you to go and speak to someone. God only helps those who help themselves. So it's not just using religion and saying, God has healed me. God, if you break your arm, would you not go to a hospital? Yes, you would. You would. So if you know your mental health is deteriorating, would you not seek professional help? Exactly. So don't feel like you need to just hold it all in. If you need to seek help, seek help. If you found anything is similar to mine or has helped you in your journey with your mental health, let me know. I think it's important to just talk about it and normalize the conversation around it as well and not make it seem like, oh, mental health. Like, let's normalize the conversation, because I think a lot of times there's still a bit of stigma about talking about it. It shouldn't be a stigma to talk about mental health because we all have mental health. Like, everyone has it. Some people can have mental health illnesses, and that's different. Pretty much everything I wanted to say in regards to mental health and how it can go from mental to physical without us sometimes realizing it, how it can play out in our community, our families. Anyway, I hope you really enjoyed this video today. Feel free to share it, let your friends know, comment down below, like I said, anything that you thought or you've learned or you want to tell me about your journey. I'd really appreciate it. comment, like, share, you know, all the good stuff there, yeah. So take care. I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye.